Hi, welcome in for this pick a card reading, or it's going to be a pick a pile, actually, technically. My name is Cynthia. This is my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a reading today, and I just remembered I didn't really want to be on camera, and I remembered you can do a pick a card layout, and that way you can still enjoy yourself and you don't have to worry about being on camera. So I got myself all set up here. And the way that I have laid this out, I just want to acknowledge that this is a similar method to a woman named Angel in, I can't remember where she is, I think in Sweden. Her channel is called the Nordic Light Tarot. And I like how she lays her piles out. She actually, I think, kind of pre-shuffles her piles so that there's not a lot of time spent waiting for the shuffling in these pick a card layouts because they're usually quite a bit longer. So that's what I've done here. I've pre-shuffled, and I haven't seen any of the cards, but I pre-shuffled everything for pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So just go ahead and look at and choose whichever pile you're drawn to. And then I also wanted to just honor my grandmother here. This is her costume jewelry that I inherited, and I feel really lucky to have inherited, especially this little panther articulated brooch. I don't know if you can see that he's got costume emerald eyes, right? It's just a really cool, I don't even know if I'm holding this up right in the camera. But anyways, so like I said, go ahead and pick out whichever pile resonates with you, and then we will be here for the reading. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here with my words. Okay, so hi, pile 1. So you chose this beautiful costume glass brooch here. With, I like that it's a lot of pink and gold colors for the, and green for the heart chakra. So that's a nice choice. And now here's the cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of redo this here. This is for your pile. And if we need to, we'll pull any clarifiers with the Crowley deck. This isn't by any means limited to these cards. So, pile 1, what is happening for you? Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. A new beginning, obviously, here. And I love that the way the Fool card is shown in the Marielle deck with these monarchs, right, that have just broken out of their chrysalis and are reborn, right? It's your new beginning here. You're looking at a threshold to the new. And it's often with a lot of optimism and excitement and daring adventure, right? The Fool. You're ready to go. In the traditional deck, Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Fool is often shown with a little dog companion with them, and I'm being drawn to say that here. Even though it looks like in this image, the dog is not featured. I can't tell as I'm looking at it whether this Fool figure has a companion. Maybe this figure right here, like a dragon kind of. Regardless, it's very gorgeous. So there's a new beginning here for you, and it's faded. The Fool is the beginning of the hero's journey. The Fool is the beginning of the tarot. So you're right where you're supposed to be. Talk about something beautiful you saw this week. So this new beginning is being emphasized by something that you experienced or witnessed or saw, and it clicked with you and it resonated, and you're recognizing it had a message for you. Something beautiful that you saw this week had a message for you about the new beginning, and this card number is number 46. So something beautiful is happening for you, pile 1, and this is very exciting. I'm really excited for you. Monarchs are beautiful. They're renowned for their beauty, and I'm also being shown in my mind's eye the migration of the monarchs and to those places in Mexico that are very blessed spiritually, right, where all these monarchs gather. It's really a beautiful scene. I've never seen it in person. I've only seen footage of it, but something beautiful, really exciting. Oh my God, the sun. Look at this. It's like bookending something beautiful for you here. Look at this gorgeous, I love how the sun image reminds me quite a bit in this image of the Mayan calendar. and the Mayan codexes and codices. And so Mexico might have relevance for you here, especially with these monarch butterflies. Monarchs are a known symbol of Mexico and of spiritual transformation. And with this golden sun card here in this face, it's really making me think of the Mayan calendar and Mexico for you. So there's something relevant about that location for you. Okay, so now this is a scrying image. So give me a minute here while I scry into this. So I'm seeing jellyfish, which are so other from us, right? Jellyfish this could be something like this, like a metamorphosis. With this jellyfish is a creature that's so different from us that it's an interesting intellectual exercise to try to imagine what it would be like to be a jellyfish. I mean, often people have a lot of debates around certain animal life and whether they truly have feelings or not, which is such a bizarre, removed from the heart perspective on the animal kingdom. But for some reason that's coming through. A jellyfish can look very beautiful and flowing and innocuous, and then all of a sudden create such a brutal sting that it makes someone wish they were dead. That could be having meaning for someone here. And if you're feeling that way, please talk to someone and get help and figure out getting some other minds into your situation so that you're not trying to figure it all out by yourself. That's going to help that feeling of like, maybe I would be better off dead. Please don't think like that. It's natural when you're going through something really terrible. That's something I feel like the mental health community doesn't discuss enough, that suicidality and suicidal thinking is something that most people go through at one point or not. That's not to say it's not serious, but it's also, I think, can help demystify it a little bit. Like, it's natural when you feel like you are trapped in a circumstance that is going to seem miserable, ongoing forever. It makes sense that our minds would start looking for an exit strategy. And so I'm not saying that that is the right move to make here, but it's something that is not discussed very often. And so I guess I'm just noting that I need to say that here. And now I'm noticing the relationship with this elk to this image. There's something about movement here. I'm not seeing anything right now. We'll keep going here. Blessed. This is a charmed, whatever you're experiencing, it's charmed. I mean, it's being blessed by the heavens. Look at this beauty, monarchs, the sun, the calendar, time, existence, psyche, consciousness. Like you're going through some kind of a spiritual awakening, maybe, or a recognition of the web, the beautiful web. That's why I put this out here, is I wanted to really honor animals. And you might be feeling the bliss that you feel when you start feeling that interconnectedness of being all one with the web of life on this in creation, right? Like something about this keeps drawing me back to this elk and wanting to feature it as part of the layout. Elk might have meaning for you. You might hunt. This is hunting fabric. It's for hunters. I bought this at a local thrift store. It's like water resistant. This is fabric made for people that spend a lot of time out in nature. Anima, Animus. So like we were saying about the spiritual process that you might be going through, you're doing some inner work to balance and alchemize the masculine and feminine within you. The Anima Animus is a Jungian term. That's Carl Jung's term for the inner masculine and feminine. And also the shadow of self, right? So it's important that you're going within, and I have a feeling that you are, and that's why you're being blessed here so much, because you've been willing to do this work. And I'm seeing that energetically. Like, you're not just healing your inner work, you're healing your outer aura. You're healing the energy around you. You're managing your energy very well. You're like an energy master is what I'm feeling with this Fool card again, the way that his arm is swinging like that, creating the new. He's manifesting. Profound love and respect is the driving force here. This is amazing. You're being blessed, Pile 1. This is an affirmation for you that you are in alignment with your life's purpose. You're being blessed. You've transformed. You've gone deeper into your psyche than you ever have before, and you're understanding things through a new lens, like a jellyfish. It sounds funny, but it's true. A jellyfish has such an altered perspective to ours, right? They live in a completely different environment. They have a completely different way of being and surviving and existing. And it's like, by you having gone into the cocoon and transformed into this Fool energy, you have that now to carry with you. It's really powerful. Don't dismiss it because of, it sounds funny, a word like jellyfish or whatever, right? In English, there might be a more beautiful word for that creature in another language. But, you know, the Knight of Swords. So when it says talk about something beautiful you saw this week, look at this owl. The beauty and this is like mask off and incoming air element energy of a severe and before and after nature. So as you've been flooded with all of this information and doing your inner work, it's almost like time is moving past you, or you are outside of time, or you are switching timelines. That's what this Knight of Swords is showing me, along with this omen. This card reading is like an omen for you, and the energy of the omen energy feels very immediate. Like a Knight of Swords is fast, so something, it could be this reading that is the confirmation, like the lightning bolt that you were waiting for. Lightning bolt here, this is a Zuni sandcast bracelet, antique, that I bought. I think it's Zuni, I don't know, it might be like Navajo, Pueblo, and right design. Lightning bolt, something about that is coming through. A Knight of Swords is like a lightning bolt in a way, very shocking, very before and after, catalyzing, something about that. And the owl as well. People have the owl is such a strong animal symbol, an animal totem. It's seeing, it's wise, it can be considered an omen of death. And so what I'm picking up here with the fact that you're going through this Fool energy is that the owl, this is preceding it. This is the omen energy. Omen, there's an omen here. The Wheel of Fortune, your fortune is changing, your fate is changing because of this work that you've been doing to heal yourself, to be willing to go into the cocoon state. You know, our culture is so FOMO based, fear of missing out, that a lot of people don't want to do this work. They don't want to take the time out. They don't want to do the downtime, the painful solo walk through the dark night of the soul. But that's what the Fool is willing to do, right? And what you have been willing to do. And you're being blessed because you've been willing to do that. The blessing of the heavens, profound love and respect is the driving force here. The Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, the Sun. This is very like kismet, like, okay, what's the brass tacks here? Something good is coming in for you, wealthy man. Look at you, because you've done this work to alchemize this experience here. This reminds me of, it's a masculine energy, but it reminds me of the Strength card in the tarot with this lion here. You're a king. You've empowered yourself. You're in masculine energy. You're decisive. You know what you want. You're going for it. You're moving. The stillness of this drifting jellyfish energy where you've gotten your deeper perspective and gone deeper into your psyche. Now look, you're ready to rule, right? You've got your elements in harmony. Water, fire, air, right? Earth. This is a strong, empowered energy that you're in here. And it's bringing in the success that you were hoping for. And because it's this card, success and love in the Lenormand card, as you can see, oh, and here's the little dog. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love how this is tied together. So here's the little white dog that normally would be on the Rider-Waite-Smith Fool card. Here they are. They're in this progressive energy with you of this joyful. So it doesn't have to be romantic love. The Lenormand success and love card can just mean positive, fortuitous events and shifting. And that is here in spades. Lots of positive energy. Squirrel. Oh my God, how precious. I don't know if I have ever pulled the squirrel card in this deck. Balance, accumulation, preservation, expenditure, cheerfulness, carelessness, drive, instinct, motivation. So this is squirrel season. The squirrels are out like crazy right now, storing away all of their food. They're busy, they're working. And when you watch them, they're playful, they're joyful. They're not stressing about winter. They're out enjoying the fall while they do their work and gather their harvest to get them through the winter months. They're smart, they're energy managers, they're studious, they're frisky, they're playful, they're in charge of their energy. I love it. This is incredible. It's also something like, you don't think of a squirrel right away as an empowered animal, but they're very empowered. They have access to the air element. They have access to community. They're incredibly smart, savvy creatures, and they give you a piece of their mind, whether you're a threat to them or not. If you cross their boundaries, right? They're out there on a limb chattering at you, making sure you get it. Like, get away, I don't like what you're doing here, right? They are confident speakers. This is amazing. I love it so much for you, Pile 1. So let's just get some final wrapping it up messages for you. What's important for you to know to close this out? I mean, it's so positive. I barely see any cautionary cards in here. Maybe what's something to be cautious of right now so that you don't have a blind spot? What's something for you to know right now? What's something to watch out for? I don't want to put a damper on this, but this is so positive that this kind of rushing positive energy sometimes can cause a little bit of illusion. So let's just make sure. Is there anything you should watch out for here, Pile 1? What should you watch out for, Pile 1? Well, this is a very positive card, but I asked, what should you watch out for? So stuff from the past, anything from childhood, anything from the past, you need to look at with a discerning eye. That word, and it makes sense because Mexico has come through here a few times, but it's coming through again. Like watch this. Watch something from the past, whether it's internal or external. Use discernment. It's not a big blasting warning like a tower card, right? But it's just saying use caution as people from the past resurface, or memories from this past or your childhood resurface. Look at that with discernment. Maintain your peace. Don't let people from the past come in and disturb this process, right? Your peace is your top priority. Maintain it and protect it. Like this little squirrel. If someone's coming in to cause drama, the squirrel doesn't like it. The squirrel comes right down to near ground level and yells at you, right? It tells you, get away. This is my little habitat, and I don't like the threatening way that you're coming around here, right? So it could be something like that. Maintain your peace. Anyone from the pack I said that for a reason. So anyone from the past, from the old pack, right? Like that wants to pull you back into an old pattern, just don't let them disturb your peace. Yeah. Triangulation from the past is what you're being cautioned to watch out for. Don't get pulled back into an old paradigm of drama or chaos. You want to maintain your peace and balance in any kind of triangle scenario. So I'm kind of feeling drawn to pull one more card, and I don't know why or from where or what. So I'm going to kind of just take it. Oh, I know. I'll use these playing cards. Anything else? Anything else for Pile 1? You're set, Pile 1. This is really beautiful. Whatever's going on for you. Really exciting. Something deserved. Something deserved because you've done the work. So now we've got 3 4s, so that's interesting. 444 is a number for you, probably, that resonates for you. And we also have the 8 of Pentacles. So just focus on your work. If anybody comes in to try to get you into stagnation again, or into an old paradigm, or into whatever, it's coming to a completion. You just need to close out those old cycles here with this old triangulation. Maintain your boundaries, maintain the new perspective that you've gained, maintain the recognition of your strength here with the sun, the lion, the monarch, right? You've got it. You've got this. This is, all you have to do is just you're on your way. We're doing your work here. So I hope that's helpful for you. Pile 1, I'm honored. Thank you. And I will see you next time. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome in. So you chose this red flower here. This looks like it's an enamel, some type of an enamel covered red flower. So you might be drawn to the root chakra right now. And then, like I was saying in pile 1, I have kind of modeled this pick a card layout after a reader who I watch sometimes. Her name is Angel. Her channel is the Nordic Light Tarot. And I like that she pre-shuffles her piles or pre-selects without looking. So I haven't looked at these, but I've shuffled and pre-selected them all just in the interest of time. And I'm now going to reshuffle them again, and we're going to get into your layout. This is just a general layout, pile 2. What's important for you to know right now in this pick a card messaging? Do not cast your pearls before swine. That is a biblical passage from Matthew 7:6. Do not spend your energy on people who can't receive what you're bringing to the situation or to the community or to social media or whatever it is. However you're showing up with your wisdom, your knowledge, your heart, your love, that's precious, and it's you don't want to leak that out everywhere without getting anything returned. That's what that passage means. Don't share with everyone. Share with people who can receive, and let the other folks go, right? That's a great way to start this. It's a sobering kind of message, a reminder to contain your energy. Yep, heartbeat. So you want to be tuning into your own heart, listening to the wisdom of your own heart right now, and not sharing all of your energy indiscriminately. You need to be conserving your energy right now with people who can appreciate what you bring. Again, the Emperor, boom. An emperor does exactly that. An emperor is not out there giving everything away, right? Everybody comes to the emperor for guidance, for advice, for support, for protection, for help, for the decisions that need to be made. So an emperor needs to maintain equilibrium, needs to maintain their wisdom and their energy, needs to be a strategist, needs to understand when to speak and when to listen to their own heart, when to ask for advice and when to tune out the advisors and listen to their own wisdom. So the Emperor card here is very interesting. And what's also interesting is in pile 1, there was 444 that came out, and now here's another 4. So this is the 4th 4. There might be something in pile 1 that has relevance for you. There was also a little bit of talk in pile 1 about maintaining boundaries and protecting your energy and boundaries. So there might be meaning for that for you in that layout. What else? What else? What else? The 4 of Cups, man, this is a lot of 4 energy here. And the 4 of Cups came up in pile 1 as well from a different deck. And so there's something or some people or influences in your energy that are slowing you down and that are keeping you in a place of stillness. With this Emperor energy here, because this is you don't want to get stuck in a gluttonous, angry, frustrated, vulnerable position. So like, let's say this Emperor is in a currently more vulnerable than he would like to be. He feels more vulnerable than he wants. This Four of Cups energy is only going to amplify the negative quality to that negative energy that he's feeling. And we're all humans, so I'm not saying all negative emotions are bad. They're messages to us. They're cues that get our attention and get us to pay attention if we use them wisely. And so people coming in here to kind of slow you down or muddy the water or confuse things, or that have their own agenda, that's what you want to tune out now and tune into your own heartbeat. Don't cast your pearls before these swine, okay? That's just straight up, okay? Don't let this kind of unhealthy water element interfere with your clarity. The Nine of Cups, and I love how this is sort of representative in a way of some Egyptian mastery, right? With this Ankh, with this monkey. I'm trying to remember, who is the monkey god? There's a monkey deity, I feel like. But regardless, look at how at peace his face is. He's generated his own wisdom here and his own joy by doing that inner alchemy and listening to the still small voice within. That saying's been coming up a lot in my readings lately, and that's also a biblical passage. I think it's somewhere from the Old Testament. To hear the still small voice within is God, right? It's not shouting, it's not showing off, it's not blustering, it's not stagnating, it's not causing doubt. It's going within and finding that within through this black and white, through the light and dark horse within. Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's something around you that is wanting to... I'm kind of feeling this, like you have a bad actor around you, possibly, or somebody that is a relationship that has been a burden past its due. And it doesn't mean, I'm not trying to disparage the other party or the other relationships that this is referencing, but it's saying if you cut some cords here and cut some of this loose, like it's draining. Something about it is energy draining here. There's somebody in your energy or others in your energy that are draining you. And I know, again, it's like, I don't mean to even disparage pigs. I like pigs, but they're used here as an example of like qualities that you don't want around you, okay? So there's something to do with this. I've also, in meditation, been seeing an Inari spirit, a Kami, a Kitsune spirit. Inari is the sort of highest representation of a Kitsune or a white fox deity from Japan, from Shinto. And the Ten of Wands has been showing up for me in meditation as a representation of Inari, which is most Kitsune, I think the most tails you can have indicating power are 9. But the Inari that kept showing up in my dream had 10 tails. And I was like, well, can Kitsune even have 10 tails? And I read somewhere that the Inari Kitsune can. I don't know how accurate that is. It may just be in some belief systems. But there's something about, because the Ten of Wands also can indicate a burden that's almost over. And so what you need to be doing is getting still, and in the stillness within, not stillness like stagnation, like listening to all the emotions around you. It's going within. Sorry, that's the heater. And I'm going to have to leave it on because it's too cold out for me to turn the heater off for over an hour to do these readings. So we're just going to have to deal with it. Theft, yeah, exactly. This is what we're saying. There's some hangers on or energy vampire or drains to your energy and your wisdom and your emperor status that need cords cut. You don't have to do it with brutality. You don't have to be abusive, right? Emperors are vulnerable to abusing power, right? Or causing harm. But this energy, this Four of Cups, is a theft. It's hangers on. It is. It's somebody trying to get their hooks in you is what I feel. Let's see what the scrying card says. There's the realm of the heart right off the bat. You're needing to guard your heart. And we've got the pinks and greens here of the heart chakra. And I really am feeling like with this black in the center here, there's somebody coming in and trying to disrupt the flow of the heart energy here. It's someone that doesn't, it just might be an old karmic relationship, right? Or something that's past its due. It's saying guard yourself from that. I've been listening to a song a lot lately on repeat by an artist I love called Peter Tosh. He's a reggae giant. He rest in peace. He died in the 90s. He was murdered, I believe. But I Am That I Am is an incredible song. I love it, and it makes me feel empowered and steady and solid, like this Nine of Cups primate here. So with all this theft energy going on around you, the Ten of Wands that might be trying to get hooks in you. I'm not talking about kitsune it could be kitsune that's trickster, like not, you don't want this kitsune tricking you, right? Or something like that. Like, you need to guard yourself like a spiritual master, like a spiritual warrior, like an ascended master. You're being asked to behave like an ascended master. That just came through. Do you see this kind of darkness here? It's led to this crossroads. You're at the crossroads. This might have been spell work. You might be somebody that's involved in the world of divination and scrying and spell work to manifest. We've got two white creatures here. Number 13. Yeah, bad luck. I don't consider 13 a bad luck number, but this card's kind of in the reverse. So it's saying you're at a crossroads and you need to use a lot of caution right now. You're an emperor, but don't allow this stagnant, hook you, old patterns, swine, right? Don't allow the cycle. You don't have to. You're at a fork in the road where you can choose the new path this time. You don't have to get sucked back in. But let's say you do for some reason. Let's say on accident you just were in a vulnerable state and you got to do another go around. It's okay. There's no right or wrong. It's just going to be learning the lesson again. And I'm seeing, for some reason here, I think this is meant to be like a saddle, but the way I'm looking at it upside down is a sled, and it's making me think of Rosebud from Citizen Kane. That sled is a symbol of, like, when he goes back on his life, William Randolph Hearst, it's based on, who's this yellow journalism media mogul, gets rich off of whipping up fear media. So there's something like that here. At the end of his life, all he wanted was to go back to his innocence of childhood. So this is what you're being warned here. Don't let these hangers-on pull you into a toxic paradigm. What you need to do is recognize that you're at a fork in the road. Do you want to be at the end of your life looking back and lamenting that you gave up your innocence? Or do you want to continue to follow the sort of white light or white magic that's here for you right now and that's telling you to protect your heart? You might have gotten old messages about you have to be there for everyone. You're supposed to be an endless supply of giving, and that is an erroneous concept of generosity. It's not accurate. You need to tune into your shadow, right? Like, you can't just pretend you don't have bad qualities and think you're going to heal that way. That's not the road to healing. Talk about taking risks. So you've had to take many risks to arrive at this place. Now the risk is going to be, are you confident enough to listen to your own still small voice within? Or are you going to keep scattering your energy, allowing outside influence in to corrupt you? Corruption is coming through big with this theft. Taking risks. What kinds of risks are you going to take? Are you going to take corrupt risks, or are you going to take white light risks that are for your spiritual ascension? For me, one of the risks I had to take was risk leaving a marriage where I felt like if I stayed, not only was it going to not be the right move for me, but it would cause a lot of pain to the person, like a death of 1,000 cuts, because I could sense that it wasn't right anymore. And if I forced myself to ignore that and stay with this person, not only does it ignore my own truth, but it's not fair to the other person. It's not fair when they could have someone who wants them for all their qualities, right? So taking the risk to be alone is the road less traveled often. It's not an easy road. The Raven. Magnetism, introspection, self-realization, self-belief, right? Heartbeat, courage, changeability, aloofness, ability to spellbind and bewitch. So you have these qualities as an emperor to see straight through these people that want to come in and take or come up or thwart or slow you down because it benefits them in some way. This is saying you have this as a guide right now, Raven Spirit, to guide you with discernment, right? Through something sad. Somebody, what I'm picking up is that there's somebody that's going to come in and try to pull you back into an old paradigm with their depression. And that's a hard truth to hear, but it's not your job to save this person. This person needs, it's their path. I'm going to pull a couple more cards because I can feel that that's needed. Who is this and what are they going to be doing? What are they doing? What's going on with that, pile 2? What I'm picking up is that you're being asked to have boundaries about this. And listen to your own heart. Or take time before you respond so that you can go within, right? This might be one of those times where you end up realizing I'm not going to do this again because I've already done it 20 times. There's nothing in it for me. Here they are again with their sob story. This time I'm saying no, right? Or something like that. Yeah, this isn't for you. This is not for you. You need to surrender this person's sadness back to them. It's a theft of your energy. The Fool, you might have a message in the first reading because the Fool card was the first card to come out in pile 1 from another deck. Any more advice for you, pile 2? Parting words for you, pile 2? These changes are coming in quick with this 9 of Wands and now the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is the completion. The 9 of Wands, you're almost there. You're almost done. You're in kind of a fatigued, wounded warrior status, like the king that's just returned home, the return of the king from the battle, from the long battle that you've been in. You're tired, but you've succeeded. That's the message of the 9 of Wands, is that you succeeded. Listen to your heart. It didn't steer you wrong. You're tired, but you've achieved it. Now, you're going to be tested when this person comes back in with their violin or their need to be rescued, right? What's the final? Yep, guard your independence, guard your resources. This is like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, only now. With an Emperor, typically you're being cautioned to be not rigid here, and that's what this person is going to do. They're going to accuse you of being rigid and controlling and unhelpful and miserly. This is their hook. That's the key. I'm seeing the key card from the Lenormand card in my mind's eye. They are going to play on fears that it's being selfish if you don't help them. This is the warning of that card. It's saying, don't fall into that, right? Yeah. Listen to your own fire. Listen to your own heartbeat. This Queen of Wands is a creative master. It's the feminine pole in you that needs it's giving you the confidence that you need from the feminine pole to not indulge this unhealthy feminine energy over here that wants to pull you in. You're at this fork in the road. Okay, sorry. I'm getting all impassioned. It's because it's a warning. It's a gentle warning, though. This is not like tower, bah, crash. It's a soft warning because it's teaching you the skill of listening to the soft voice. Are you willing to get still so you can listen to her voice inside you that's saying, watch out. This person wants to dull your light. This person wants to take your creative fire. Your creative fire is fueling them. They need their own fire from within, not yours. It's like a form. They may not realize that that's happening, but it's true. So that's it for you. You're on this threshold of this new beginning. Do not let this person pull you back in. The good news is that if for some reason they do successfully pull you back in, you've grown so much. It's not going to be like the same hard lesson. You know, it's just, you maybe will figure it out sooner. But I have a sense that if you're catching this reading, it's going to be the warning. I don't need to get pulled into that. I can give them resources or referrals or suggestions about what they can do to manage their own situation, but I'm not going to involve myself because it's to pull me down. It's a theft, right? So that's it for you, pile 2. Thank you. Sorry, my energy got a little fired up. It's because it's a warning, right? So use discernment. Hello, pile 3. So last but not least, here you are with this little faux pearl here, this white flower that you chose. And like I was saying, this is from my grandmother's costume jewelry. So it's kind of cool to get to use her stuff in this way and bring her energy in. And like I was saying in the other piles, this, oops, oh, interesting. I caught a little glimpse that I wasn't supposed to. So I have borrowed the method of Angel from Nordic Light Tarot to lay out these piles. She chooses them unseen, pre-shuffled ahead just to kind of save time. And so I borrowed that from her. I like it, so we don't have to spend a bunch of time with me selecting all these cards. So now I'm just shuffling them again, and this is just a general message for you. What do you need to know right now, pile 3? Let's get into it. Ooh, fast movement, wolf energy here. Do you see her? Riding towards her success. Instead of the horses, it's the dark and light wolf, like talked about in, I don't know if, I can't remember if it's Ojibwe legend and lore, but like the light and dark horse within, the light and dark wolf, she is succeeding. She's racing towards a success as part of her wolf pack, right? Look at this heart, like this pink rose right in her heart chakra. She's connected to her heart. She's on her right path. Card number 7. Really amazing energy to start off with. I love it. It's such a positive sign for this whole spread to come. 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands came up in pile 2. And I love that it's this tiger here with this fiery feminine figure. Sorry about the heater. It's too cold out to turn it off, so we're just going to have to deal with the being an annoying background noise. I can't sit in here for over an hour with no heat on, or it's going to get too cold. So you have succeeded. This tiger is not to be messed with, right? But he might be a little bit tired. Like, you're tired a little bit from some of this journeying, but you're also incredibly empowered. This is a warrior. You are a warrior. This tiger is not to be fucked with, right? So you might be a little tired from navigating this chariot energy and racing towards your success so much, and that's reflected here in this figure. You're a little tired, but you are a fuck around and find out warrior, so you don't really have anything to worry about. But it's coming through that you're a little tired in your fire element. You may have had to push really hard for a while to get to this chariot energy. Luckily, just in the nick of time, 9 of Wands energy is a change in the wind. So, and again, I love how stripes and black and white, this is the 3rd card now with these black and white stripes highlighted. The stripes of the tiger, the stripes of the chariot, black and white cloak maybe that she's wearing, and then now the zebra stripes. This is card number 12, card number 9, and card number 7 we have out here. Chaos and not chaos, but a change in the wind can really indicate everything here, right? You're racing towards a change. You're working with the energy of the change, even though you're tired. What's interesting is that this zebra is not in motion right now. He's standing. It's the wind that's changing. So you're resting. You can be in this restful state and let winds of change come in. You are okay to do a little bit of hanging back now, because if you've been running this chariot for a while, your body's probably tired. Your mind is probably tired from all the concentration. So it's okay to take a stop here, reassess, and let life and the winds of change come through and do the work for a while. That's what I'm being told here. Look for what's being left out. What is the missing element? Well, this might be why you're so tired, is because the element of nature, the element of the natural world helping you, you may have been going purely on your own fire and adrenaline and strength of will and force and spiritual power. That might be what's been missing and why you got kind of tired, is because now it's time to let your manifestations come into being. Let the seeds that you've planted start growing. You can't force the seeds to open at this point. You need to now rest. And that's what was missing. And maybe what you're needing to hear is now just let go and rest and let the winds of change come in for you. And let this, there's something about the black and white here, something about the stripes that is unifying these cards, which I think is interesting. What's also interesting is that from the endgame, because it's typically used as a group game, it has a lot of cards in it like this. Like, oh, choose one. Ask someone a question, comment on any subject, or take another card. So this is a stopping point where you can figure out, okay, wait a minute, hang on. What's being left out? What is the missing element? Do I need to ask an appropriate question somewhere? Do I need to speak up? Or do I need to keep watching and waiting for signs? That's the message of this card for you. It's what you're being asked to do right now, is go with it. Take a breather. Let the winds of change work. So with the Hierophant here, that's very interesting. This is an effeminated image of the Hierophant, as you can see here. It's kind of an androgynous face, but she's in a nun's habit and she's breastfeeding these two figures. I don't know how well you can see that. And there's something being grounded in with this root energy coming down into the ground. So it could be that you've alchemized something within you by doing this really hard work. I don't know. The Hierophant is a little bit of a curveball for me, but there's this key here. So there's something about, let's just pull more cards. I'm not sure how, you might be asked to use prayer right now. Ask questions to your guides, right? Let's see though. Climb the burning ladder. This refers to that fatigue. The burning ladder is a therapist story that therapists will often use to illustrate healing and the painful parts of healing. And they'll suggest, imagine yourself in a very deep, dark pit, and you can see light way up ahead or up above of the sky shining down into this pit. You know it's there. You know you can have a life that's outside of the pit. But your only way out of that pit is to climb a ladder that's on fire. That's what healing can feel like at times. It means going within and facing the hard truths. Climb the burning ladder. This is what you're being asked to do. You've reached a point where there's a pause and you can take a breather and rest and regroup here. Go back within and figure out, what do I need to do? Do I need to ask more questions? Do I need to speak up here, or do I need to allow the winds of change to come in and prayer and get guidance? And this is saying, keep going, climb the burning ladder. You're tired. This is climbing the burning ladder. The Nine of Wands is that image. Like if there were going to be an image for me of climbing the burning ladder, it would be that, the Nine of Wands or the Hermit, right? Going within. It's been a spiritual journey. You might literally be going to go on a journey with this Chariot card here. You may be fixing to move, fixing to change locations. That might be part of what you're thinking about, is going quiet now to try to wait and meditate what feels right. What feels right to me spiritually? What do I want to nurture and give of myself for going forward now? What do I want to do? There might be messages in the other layouts for you. These are quite different. The Nine of Wands came up in pile 2, but let's just keep going. Let's see here. Rooster. Exhaustion. Or no, sorry. Although you are feeling exhausted. Enthusiasm, positivity, humor, potency, sexuality, talkativeness, egotism, exhibitionism, vanity. So there's something that you're being asked to alchemize within you about ego. And a rooster is a very masculine energy. You might be being asked to kind of, because in this deck, the Hierophant shows up as a feminine energy, which is a choice on her part to sort of challenge the norms of energy. You're being asked to do some alchemizing work with this, I think. And also find your way back to some levity. This fatigue might have gotten really intense, and waiting and pausing and resting with this winds of change can help. The rooster I was reading recently is also a symbol in Ifa. And so there might be, you know, chickens and roosters are a big part of that practice. They're sacred animals in a lot of ways, much like salmon in some ways, because of what they do for people, how giving and self-sacrificing they are. There's something to do with that. Possibly a rooster protects the flock. is enthusiastic, positive, humorous, potent, sexual, talkative, egotistical, right? Like an ego of a rooster is needed in order to, and a rooster needs to be cocky as fuck, right? To protect the flock. There's something about that. Like vanity and exhibitionism and egotism are important. You're alchemizing those qualities within you. What is the missing element? The missing element is maybe that ego has been driving you to some extent, and you're being asked to also surrender ego and turn to something greater than yourself. That's the journey. That's been a journey for me, honestly. Like, as much as I thought I was spiritual, I still had a lot of ego in the way that always made me feel like it's all up to me. Everything is up to me, and I didn't know how to surrender to something greater. I mean, that's one of the main basic spiritual tenets, but it's hard for ego-driven people that want to feel that their will is the ultimate thing and what makes their life happen, right? Yeah. You started recognizing some of that illusion and finding joy and hope through going deeper spiritually and not just showing up and showing off and showing out like a rooster, right? A rooster is in touch with this fire in the way that the hens need. But, and sometimes when you watch a rooster, I don't always like roosters because they're so aggressive, but they are needed. Hens need an aggressive protector. So there's something about that, maybe, I don't know. But there's an illusory quality. There's an illusory quality with this card in the Kipper. It can indicate dreams coming true, but it can also kind of indicate illusion. So you've had to watch out for some illusion and recognize what was missing within yourself. I love tarot. This is that dark horse. It's that dark horse. You've been alchemizing that inner shadow work. You've been doing your shadow work and getting comfortable with your inner feminine. That's what I'm picking up here. And the rooster within you, it's been a challenge at times. But I just love this image with this dark wolf because it's opportunity, but it's got a warning with it, right? The Seven of Cups is a major opportunity. You're at a crossroads or at a point in change where the winds of change are coming in that you're going to have a lot of options. And what's important is remembering the chariot work that you've already done to alchemize your light and dark within and do your shadow work. You've done that work. So now that these options start coming in, you're well acquainted with your shadow. You're going to be able to navigate. When is the cockiness of the rooster needed, and when do I need to have a quieter, softer approach, but that's still deadly, possibly, right? You've met yourself internally in a way that's brand new for you. It's really coming through again with this card. This is what this Chariot card is meaning. It's helped heal your heart by meeting yourself and knowing your shadow. It's helped clear away a lot of the darkness within into a more vibrant, colorful energy again, where there's more of a harmonized aspect of self with the elements in harmony here is coming through. Water, fire, earth, air. You've met yourself on new ground, but your work isn't done. And it's kind of echoing to me over and over that let spirit work for you right now. It's okay. You've done a lot of really amazing work, but you need to let spirit do some work here too. Don't get caught up in the illusion that everything rests on you. I'm seeing the breasts here echoed in this. There's something about feminine, the inner feminine within you that might have been in a dark aspect. Your inner feminine might have been in an unhealthy, giving too much. The rooster can kind of protect you from that a little bit. I need to pull some more cards. There's something that's, I feel like, is missing. What am I missing here? What else do you need to know? Pile 3. Find a spiritual practice to continue your work. Yeah, collaborate, or yeah, work and collaborative work with the right parties is you're being asked to consider here. And to surrender to something greater. Your will is not going to be the driving force here. That's why you're being asked to surrender to the winds of change and rest. It's not going to be your will that's the determining factor. It's fate here and your higher power working with you. It's interesting. The Queen of Wands came up in pile 2. There might be some messages for pile 2 for you, because also the Nine of Wands came up in pile 2. What's interesting in this playing card is that this Queen of Wands is holding a rose, and usually a Queen of Hearts is the queen that's holding a rose, but in this deck it's the Queen of Wands, so there might be some illusion here that you're being asked to sort through. That's an illusion that I'm noticing. It's so wild because these readings, these layouts all seem connected in some way. I didn't intend for that to happen, but this might be one of those pick cards where there's a message in each layout for everyone, which is kind of a little overwhelming, but it is what it is. Because here we have the Knight of Swords, and he came up in pile 2. So it may not be pile 1 so much for you, has relevance, but definitely pile 2, because there's now 3 cards in common between the 2 piles. Yeah. You've done a lot of work to plant these really good seeds, and now you have to let the winds of change come in and do a lot of it for you. You've planted the right seeds. There's still some illusion, and the winds of change are going to clear away the illusion. That's what it is. You've planted the right seeds. You need to get still. Amsterdam, that's interesting. This playing card deck is originally from the Netherlands, so that might have meaning for you. Something about Europe and Amsterdam. I never noticed that before in this Ace of Pentacles card here. This is the Ace of Diamonds, but that means the Ace of Pentacles in tarot. So now I'm just going to pull one last card for you, pile 3, as kind of a tying it together. What's going to be one last thing that will be helpful for you to hear, pile 3? It's a time of stillness for you right now. I don't get the sense that it's going to be for very much longer, though. It's just okay to take a break and let some things happen. Just watch and wait and see what happens. I'm feeling the Page of Swords, even though that card didn't come out. That's kind of like this card. Watch and wait. Be still at the bottom of the deck with this piece, 2 of Swords, right? Yeah, oh my God, Ace of Pentacles again. You've planted the right seeds. Now you wait. You don't force a seed to open. You allow nature and the seed's environment to do the work for you now. Your role is done. You've planted the seed. Now it's a time to wait and watch. And stand your ground. Protect yourself against illusion. Recognize that you've done an amazing job in doing your shadow work. And now as anything may come in to interfere, outside stuff that you need to surrender to and recognize illusion for what it is, just stand your ground and let spirit help you. Oh my God, I love it. That is an amazing card to end on. The Magus. This is so amazing. Look at what he's creating for himself here. You've done it. You've planted all these seeds. You've worked with the right tools. You've set the right intentions. The only thing missing at this point is the reminder that you need to rest now and allow it to come in for you. Allow it to unfold. You've done your work. Your work is done, at least for this current cycle. You've planted the right seeds. Let the environment work for you now and watch out for illusion. So that will do it for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate and love you all, and I'll see you next time. Take good care.